Fabulous. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Monday. Karen Kierton here, as usual, every Monday, usually at breakfast time. But today I'm joined by the lovely Lorraine Dorgan. Good afternoon, Lorraine.
Hi, hello everybody, and hello Karen. Thank you for inviting me.
Nice to see you all. So Lorraine and I met a little while ago through the fabulous Athena Network, which is a professional business women's networking group. We work and meet online, but we have our socials in person. Although, Lorraine, you don't come to many of the socials, do you? Because you're in beautiful France.
Yes, but I did actually once, and I got the prize for arriving for the longest person.
You did.
It means
Legacy
16 hours.
Yes,
Yeah, it was
last year.
Yes.
Yes, and I didn't even get a chance to speak to you in person last year because you were so much in demand. So Lorraine, just to give everybody watching, anybody joining us, feel free to add any questions. We are here to support each other and, of course, anybody else watching. So Lorraine is a very, very talented branding specialist. She's got over 40 years of experience in graphic design and worked with some phenomenal brands. But what we're here to talk about today is the importance of branding, why it's important, and how to really create a strong brand that I think that you're proud of, don't you think, Lorraine? That you should look at it and think, wow. Yeah.
It's that, but it's also about the consistency and being seen. It's that know, like, and trust. And that's what's important in creating a brand. You know, it's not just about a logo, it's about your tone of voice, how you show up, your colors, all of that consistently.
Absolutely. And you, when we spoke, you were telling me about brand DNA. So tell everybody a little bit more about brand DNA. What on earth does that mean?
Right then, well, I've created this, as you said, the discovering your brand DNA, because increasingly a lot of people, they get their logo or their branding, and then what? When they start to post or when they start to do things on their own, they lose their way. They often turn up, oh, that font looks nice, I'll try that font, which of course is the worst possible thing they could do. They really, really need to be consistent and stay on brand so that the audience knows, likes, and trusts them. The minute they start to show up just slightly different, you've lost your audience. So I have developed this discovering your brand DNA just to show people who aren't in the design industry necessarily. It's for people to understand why they're going through a brand DNA, why it's so important to discover and continue to use their brand DNA. It's a discovery for them, because I think you really need the client to understand why we're doing it at the end of the day. And it goes into behind the color psychology. It's about who you're targeting, what those people are looking for. So it's choosing the right color for the right type of audience. It's choosing the right font for the right audience. Not all fonts are good.
Let me talk to you about fonts, because I have clients and I'll say this to them. And actually, I'm in the process of doing a small brand refresh. And I actually said to my local graphic designer who's helped me with my initial brand, and now we're giving it a little bit of Botox, shall we say, Lorraine, and giving a little bit of refresh. And I said, actually, I feel that my brand font I've never felt attached to. So why is the font so important? And why are there so many, actually?
Well, that's oof, I don't know, because they're all just slightly different, so it gives you just a slight edge. And do you know, it's a very strange thing because not everybody can see it. Recently, I'll give you a little example. Recently, a lady came to me. They'd seen some branding I'd done and a website that I'd done for a client. And they said they liked it so much they'd like the same sort of thing for them. And they weren't quite happy with their logo, but they weren't sure why. Anyway, when I looked at it, the first thing that struck me was the way the R was with the rest of the characters. So the way the R was defined looked very strange. And that was just the way the font was written or designed. And so therefore I changed it because it was a sans serif font, but the R had a slight kick to it, so it looked like a serif font. So to me, it was an artificial foul. It was really weird, and I thought, I don't like that at all. And so we changed it to a sans serif font, and it was great. It just made all the different visually. It's a psychological thing. It really, really is.
And it is that, isn't there? Because there's also, and I've read up quite a lot about this when I was looking at fonts, and I read a little while ago that actually, because a lot of people, not myself, but my son actually, are dyslexic, and there are certain fonts that are easier for people with dyslexia to read, aren't there?
Well, there is. They say that to use a sans serif font is very, very good for people who are neurodiversive. It's a great font. Yeah. Now that comes up against a bit of a mismatch because majority of newspapers are all in a serif font. It's a serif font for a reason, because it's very easy for people to read it and understand it. But there, of course, when we come to neurodivergence, it's not really a font that's easy for them to read. It's a sans serif font that you need.
Wow, interesting. So you've developed this whole ethos about discovering your brand DNA. So tell me a little bit more practically what that would mean if somebody was interested in exploring that.
Yeah, so it delves into the psychology or the reasons why developing your brand is so important. And then what it does is it goes a little bit further. So there's so at the top, if you can imagine, you've got a guide to creating your brand DNA or your brand identity, and from there you can have bigger information or more information attached to that. You can go into the DIY of choosing color, tips on launching your rebrand, how to choose the right typeface. I delve into photography, because of course it's very important when you're rebranding, keeping on-brand photography and what you're going to use on your website, etc. And that all goes into helping you fully understand why you're doing it and the reasons behind it. And so therefore then you come out with the true strong branding messaging, as well as your looks, your tone of voice, etc., because it all has to be fitting together. It's not just about your logo, it's about how you show up in other areas as well.
I think it's so true, because it all comes back for me, and everything you said just reinforces it. I remember when I did my first incarnation of my branding, 15 years ago, and it was very blue. Now, I know blue, and blue is a color of trust, but it was actually just because I like the color. I didn't actually put any real thought behind that. But the crux of it is that there is that psychology, but also it's that thing. And do you think when people set up their businesses, Loren, that they really understand maybe even particularly who they want to attract, how that's going to resonate? Do you think it's something You know, I have some clients, I'll say, who's your perfect client? We should be writing our social media content, designing our website. Everything is designed to resonate with them.
Yeah.
But actually, sorry, I just saw something run across the garden there, out in the garden. We've got an invasion of whatever sort of bird at the minute. It's quite crazy. And but it is that it's layers, isn't it?
It's exact that. Well, within that, I've also created a brand DNA workbook, and what it does is it works through. It asks you all those questions: who is your audience? Who are you trying to attract, etc. And that's when you really, the magic starts to happen, because really then they see it, you see it, and you're creating this brand for your specific target audience. Because you can't scattergun, you can't say, oh, I'm appealing to everyone, because you appeal to no one.
And that's the thing, isn't it? We've got to make
it target it.
Yeah, we have to make it easy for people. So for people to access this whole kit that you've put together, do they do that through your website? What's the easiest way for them to do it?
Well, they can contact me through my website, to go onto the contact page and ask about it. At the moment, I'm busily writing. I've got about 3/4 of the way through it. I mean, I've taken 2 clients through it already, and it's been amazing. Really, the testimonials that's come back from it has been really, really encouraging. So that's super.
Fantastic. It's fantastic, isn't it? Because when you have this, and I know this, and I think this is the challenge of running your own business, is we get so excited about new things.
Yes.
Is the practicalities of getting it live and seeing the impact, because it's the difference it's going to make on how people feel about their brand, isn't it?
Yes, it really is, actually. It really is.
And that is the thing. But also it's not just about how we feel about it as brand, it's how our audience feels about it too, isn't it?
Correct.
Which is really fascinating. Well, as always, I just love talking to you about this stuff, but I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm going to check in with you in a few weeks and see how this is all going. So it sounds fascinating.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you.
All right.
That'd be great.
Have a wonderful day. And if anybody wants to connect with Lorraine and you've got any questions about the kit, just comment or contact Lorraine either through her website, which I'm going to put in the comments, or connect with her on LinkedIn. Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, and you too. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Bye.